Hello friends, this is the Organizer Advisor here to help you enhance your happiness and transform your life. We have finished our 90-day total life transformation, and even if you did just bits and pieces of it, I hope you are experiencing some really positive benefits from that transformational process. And don't worry, if you didn't get to do all of it, we will do an expedited 30-day total life transformation in the month of January to kick off our New Year's resolution. And we will have a framework of support so that we can organize all of our documents, restructure our wardrobe, creating that rainbow closet, every nook and cranny, clean our home, as well as some thematic organizing and kicking off those daily health and beauty routines, which will encompass all of our New Year's resolutions. So looking forward to that. But for the month of December, I wanted to focus on the why-tos and not the how-tos. So why should we organize our life? Why should we have a cleaner home? What are the benefits? Why should we restructure our wardrobe? Why is it helpful to have our documents organized? And I want to highlight some of the benefits of all of these things and how they can truly enhance our happiness and transform our life in a myriad of ways. So I'll be doing a little mini segments on how this can be helpful to you. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is kind of eradicate a conceptual misconception. So we have been programmed and have embraced the belief that we must have a perfect home in order to be happy. We need a home that is, has high vaulted ceilings, all new appliances, granite countertops, big wide open spaces, huge closets, bathrooms that, resemble a palatial self-care space. But realistically, that's not happiness. And that's not something within the means of many of the people that are here on my Facebook page or visit my YouTube channel. Most of the people whom this process helps to support are people who are somewhere in the ages of 30 to 60. They have accumulated a lot of things. They are overwhelmed, overstressed, feel like they're working themselves every day. During the work week, they are working all week to just kind of keep up. And then on weekends is the catch-up time. That's when they catch up on laundry and house cleaning. But there's no time off. There's no time to cultivate joy. There's no time to embrace happiness because you're constantly working, just trying to keep up. And so finding myself in that exact same situation, I designed this process to keep me sane and, quite honestly, alive. But we have somehow or another been programmed through magazines and television shows, even sitcoms, that, life has to be perfect in order to be, to feel fulfilled, to find enjoyment, to be able to feel empowered and positive about one's life. I think one of the early shows I believe it was the 80s, was the Roseanne Barr show. And one of the greatest appeals to that show was that show focused or showcased a life that was not perfect. And people could relate. My life isn't perfect. I live in a 1966 renovated cottage that has lower ceilings, that has small bathrooms and very little closet space. I choose to live here. I've had, the luxury of owning a big, brand new, beautiful house. But this is where my heart is. This is where my happy place is. I've created this. I've manifested this. Sorry, we got a squealing puppy, not happy being in the crate. This is my joy. This is what works for me, and that is as individual as you are. And the first step in redesigning the life and creating or manifesting the life you love is by creating a vision of what it is that you want to be happy. I always wanted a cottage, 2 dormers, cottage in the country, little brick cottage with enough land to have some farm animals and my dogs and, you know, a cat and a turtle and some birds. You know, I want wide open spaces. Every time I would drive to, through, I lived in suburbia, but when I would drive out to where there was wide open spaces, I was like, this is what fits me. So when I found this cottage, it was exactly what I had pictured, except for the fact that it needed extensive renovations. Now I chose to renovate using, you know, the skill of my son, some friends, and myself, instead of hiring a bunch of contractors to come in and totally redo the entire interior of this place. I worked with what we had. I wanted to keep it very low budget, and I wanted to furnish it with things that I found out of garage sales and thrift stores, charity shops, Craigslist at the time, Marketplace, Restore, and that's what we did. And so it was just my dream to pull all these pieces together. That was something that motivated me. Now, you may be a large house in the suburbs with, you know, huge kitchen and big bathrooms and brand new surfaces. Believe me, it is enjoyable. However, you need to find what calls to your soul and what makes you feel at peace and happy. But my whole point of this video is it doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be pleasant for you. What works for you? And when you start to get your head around what in your life doesn't fit your authentic self, you begin to reconstruct from that soul space that makes you happy. So just a couple of things about pleasant and not perfect. Your house doesn't have to be perfect. It needs to be an expression of your authentic self. And it doesn't have to be perfect because no one is perfect. Your house has an energy. And that energy is what connects you, what expresses you, what makes you feel personal. Your energy is reflected in your home. Your home is an expression of you, of your authentic self. And so let's talk about a clean home and how that supports your energy. Everybody feels more comfortable in a clean home. Now, it can be too clean, so perfection is not what we're aiming for. Not every home is going to be perfect all the time. I can assure you mine is not. It is not even now. Doesn't have to be. There are days that life gets chaotic. Okay, it's all right. Sorry. It's okay if things are chaotic from time to time. What you want is just a place where you feel comfortable. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be pleasant and still affirm yourself. I'm going to have to fix this. Let me pause just a second. Sorry about that. I think a little more milk might have solved the problem. So we're back to pleasant, not perfect. Your life doesn't have to be perfect. You know, it wouldn't really be enjoyable as much if it were perfect. Challenges help us grow. Now, your home, as long as it's comfortable for you and your family, that when you walk in, your visceral reaction is not that of chaos and unsettling and frustration and stress. It really doesn't matter what it looks like or feels like to someone else. What it looks like and feels like to you is the most important point. So you may be more comfortable with clutter than some other people. You may be less comfortable with clutter. I'm very comfortable with clutter, but I need organization. It's just, I think my larger point is, we don't want to obsess about the fact that our home is not perfect. It does not need to look like a magazine unless that's exactly what you need. It's more important the energy, and the energy of your home and how you interact with that energy. So if your home is absolutely perfect for you, that's all that matters. That it fits your energy, that it dovetails into and supports your energy, that it doesn't diminish your enthusiasm or your ability to integrate into your home. So creating that energetic space that welcomes you, that is, it's a synchronicity to your soul. So something that fits how you respond, whether it's visually calming or visually stimulating. You can create zones in your home for different aspects of your personality. You can have a soothing home, you can have an energetic home, you can have a vibrant home, you can have a calm home. Whatever makes you feel authentic is going to create the dynamic and energy that is going to kind of sync up with your authentic resonance. And that is home. Not the building, not the structure. It's the energy. And it has to be pleasant. It has to be something that you feel aligned with. And that's the whole point of why I do these videos, and I try and share with you some of the things that work for me. And I also want you to see that I don't live in a perfect home. I don't live in a great big 5,000 square foot home in a gated community. That's not me. I need to see my goats outside and the crops across the road, and I needed to have this place that I created from literally about demolition point to restoring without taking away the charm, because I wanted something to feel. This is an authentic expression of me. What you have seen in all these videos is my truth, and that's my home, is my truth. My authentic self is home. So I just wanted to focus on that, because there are so many visual aspects that we are bombarded with that represent somebody else's truth, somebody else's authentic self, somebody else's home. But sometimes we feel like that invalidates our authentic truth, that if our home doesn't look like that, if we don't have that in our home, if my home doesn't reflect abundance and prosperity and new and up and coming, then I'm in some capacity diminished. That is not true. That is a falsehood that we sometimes are programmed to believe in order to keep us consuming. So I just wanted to express this today to you, because you don't have to have a perfect life to be happy. You don't have to have a perfect home to be happy. And that's one of the things that I wanted to really show in this space, was that I don't have high ceilings, and I don't have great big bathrooms, and I don't have that anymore. But I am joyfully and blissfully happy in my authentic truth. And this house, this cottage, represents my authentic truth. It is here that I create my version of happiness. And that's all that matters. So that's all I wanted to express today, so that we could maybe start to deconstruct some of the falsehoods that create barriers to our happiness, our joy, our expectations of ourselves, and our validation. To me, it was important to share that your soul sanctuary space, which is your home, is meant to be aligned with who your authentic truth, who you truly are, what truly brings you joy, and the energy that you create that uplifts you, that supports you, that combines with your energy to create this symbiotic, energetic space that you call home. I hope this helps. Okay, so until next time, love you.